the amount of independents who are in this town, just it kind of blows me away really that we can get all this on our doorstep, and how lucky we are to have the shops that we have and the schools that we have. And yeah, I could go on. Just love your town. That's what we do.
This episode is brought to you by True Tone Media. A lot of business owners know they should be doing video to interact with their potential clients, but video can sometimes feel awkward, particularly if it's scripted or you're kind of sitting there like a hostage in front of the camera trying to share your story. And that's where True Tone Media is different. It's relaxed conversations, it's interview led, like you're just having a chat with me. There's no acting or pretending to be someone different in front of camera. And that's why it works. That's why people relate to it. If you're interested, have a look in the show notes for True Tone Media and book in a conversation. We can have a chat. Okay, back to the podcast. Welcome to the Bishop Stortford Community Podcast, the show where we shine a light on the incredible businesses, community leaders, and local legends shaping our town. I'm your host, James O'Donnell, and today we are joined by Kate Turner. Kate, great to have you on the show.
Thank you for having me, James.
No problems. Kate, for those of us who don't know you yet, who are you and what do you do here in Bishop Stortford?
So my name is Kate Turner and I am the editor of the Bish Magazine, also a copywriter for Douglas, which is the other side of our business. That's me. I live in Bishop Stortford. I've lived here for the last 14 years.
So the Bish, so many people know the Bish. They see it out when they're getting their lattes out in Bishop Stortford, and they have a little read through and a little flick through. What was the spark for the Bish and for getting that all started?
So the Douglas has been around for over 4 generations, printers primarily, and also a graphic design agency. I came to the business about 7 years ago now, as a copywriter. And then coming out of lockdown, we were trying to think about things that we could do to both sort of bolster the local community, but then also show the kind of work that we do. And that's really where the spark for the Bish came from. We already had the expertise in-house. We could print in-house, design in-house, write in-house. So it's something that we had full control over from off the bat. And really we wanted to sort of celebrate everything that was going on in the town, help the people who were sort of starting out, smaller businesses, shine a light on stories, local stories, and spread a bit of joy really and good news. That's always been really what's at the heart of the magazine, is that we, whether you've lived here for a year or your whole life, there's lots to be celebrated about the town, and we wanted to be a part of that and spread that news and that joy, really.
It's fantastic. I remember when we moved to Bishop Stortford about 18 months ago now, and we looked around a couple of houses, and then we went to grab a coffee to sit down and kind of think about everything. And I saw a copy of the Bish there, and I thought, they've even got a magazine just about what's going on. And my wife and I took it back with us and read through it, and I think it's a great advert for the town and for all the fantastic people that are trying to invest in the community and make it a much better place to live. And I think because of the population increase as well, it's a great way for people to learn about what's going on and who's making the magic happen.
Yes, and I think that's the thing, is that people are always amazed that it's a free magazine because it's printed on lovely paper stocks, and the design that goes into it is very considered and thoughtful. But I think that's a reflection of the town. It's a pretty special place to live. Obviously, people hate the traffic and things like that. There are always improvements to be made. But, generally, this is an amazing town, and we want to do something that reflects that. So, yeah, that's why we're doing what we're doing. And that's why we are where we are in the town. So hopefully, wherever you go, mainly the independents, you can always find us. Obviously, it is quarterly, so we're not around all the time, but in between, there are obviously so many sources of great information about things to do and people of note. And I think once you really start to scratch the surface of this town and the surrounding villages, you just uncover a whole, culture that's just pretty mind blowing, really.
It is. You should see the amount of people that are booked on the podcast.
Yes.
There are so many people with stories to tell. It's very exciting. What are you working on with the Bish at the moment? What are you most excited about over the next 12 months or so?
I mean, well, so much. I'm currently working on the summer issue, so we work quite far in advance. And so it's lovely to already be thinking about things before they happen. So, articles on things to do over the summer and, places that you can visit, people that you can see. But then we're also always thinking a few issues ahead as well. So in the infancy of the magazine, we were very much working issue to issue. But now we've gotten to know so many people and businesses that, we might already be talking to someone about something that's going to happen in the Christmas issue, which isn't that so fabulous to already have like seeds of ideas that go into later in the year and even next year. So I love that sort of seasonal peak and trough element to the magazine. And no sooner, because we all work on the magazine in the sense that it's very hands-on. So as well as writing it, I'm out there with my colleagues in the van delivering it too. And so we take it out into the world at publication stage. So the next one will be June. And as soon as that's done, it's writing then the autumn issue. And so it's a real cyclical process that's really enjoyable at every different stage, if a little stressful at times, but
I
we're
bet.
we're kind of a well-oiled machine.
Yeah, but it's wonderful to have something that's, written, put together in Bishop Stortford. But I honestly didn't realize that it was printed in Bishop Stortford as well.
Yes.
What a fantastic, business model that you've got there, that everything happens in the local area, supporting, local, as a copywriter, supporting local creatives in the work that they're doing and then shining a light on other people. It's fantastic. It really, really is. If people out there want to stock the Bish or they want to contribute to it, how do they reach out and start a conversation with you, Kate?
Okay, so we're quite active on our socials. We've got an Instagram, also Facebook. So you can always ping us a message on either of those channels. We also have a website, so thebishmag.co.uk. You can have a look at us there. And generally, everyone gets in touch on hello@thebishmag.co.uk. And that's how we sort of filter everything through. And whether that's, if you want to be a stockist, obviously the magazine is free. So it's free to stock it too. We deliver. If you run out of copies in that quarterly period, we can always come and bring some more. If you want to get in touch about being featured or advertising, it's all, it's generally me at the end of any contact channel. So hello@thebishmag.co.
Wonderful. Well, we'll put a link to that in the show notes, and I'm sure there's going to be
Okay.
past guests that would be interested in, talking to you about that. And there are so many, new spots popping up all the time, around Bishop Stortford at the moment that could stock. And I'm sure you've got a finger on the pulse there, Kate, but you never know when someone might be able to reach out and to support what you're doing there. Okay. I love the Bish. Thank you for the effort that you put into, to putting that out and to sharing it with the community. And for who knows where we're going to be in 4 years' time, but really hope that the Bish keeps thriving and sharing the fantastic stories with everyone in the community. It's really good. Thanks for that, Kate.
Thank
Are
you.
you ready for some Stortford Spotlight questions now?
I'm so ready. Yes.
So excellent. These are 3 fast questions that we ask every guest that comes onto the Bishop Stortford Community Podcast. First question. If you could put one sentence on a billboard in Jackson Square, what would it say and who needs to hear it the most?
It would just be love your town. I think as someone who's moved here from London, it's for me been such a town of opportunity, and I'll say change. Not everybody loves change, and obviously people who have been here since, the dawn of time have their gripes, but Bishop Stortford has always been a town of sort of trade and commerce, and we're on the doorstep of it. However, whatever your feelings, we are on the doorstep of an international airport. So I just, there is a lot to love about this town, and a lot of incredible things. And coming in from the outside, I love the culture here. I love the fact that even though we don't live in London anymore, I love the fact that we can go into the town and we can get our Greek pastries and our French coffee and our Italian food, and it's incredible quality. The amount of independents who are in this town, just it kind of blows me away, really, that we can get all this on our doorstep. And how lucky we are to have the shops that we have and the schools that we have. And yeah, I could go on. Just love your town. That's what we do.
Exactly. Love your town. I think it's a fantastic sentiment, Kate. I really do. We are so lucky with all the independent businesses that are out there. We must get out and support them,
Yes.
as much as you can. If you've got, go out there and make a decision to support your independent businesses, because everybody needs it at the moment, particularly in Bishop Stortford. And if they go, they're gone. You won't get them back. And I've lived in places where high streets look identical to each other. And all of a sudden the character, the spirit of the town just, disappears. It really does. So we are very lucky here. So hopefully we all keep getting out and supporting those independent businesses and those people that have stepped out of their comfort zone to start something brand new. I think it's
Yes.
it's something to be applauded. It really is. You and I, Kate, we'll fly the flag for that. Yes. On that point, question 2. Where do you go in Stortford that you secretly hope never gets too popular?
Well, I think that ship's already sailed, and I'm sure this is the case for quite a few of your guests. Le Pêche Mignon is one of my absolute favourite places to go because, well, the people are lovely. Ludo and Mairead are excellent people. The coffee it's the best coffee in Stortford. I won't argue about that. It just is. Lovely pastries, lovely food. If you go there in the evening, it's again stunning food. London quality for sure. And just people doing a really nice thing. And so that would be, they are one of my favourites. And the other place would be Paisa for a very similar reason. The chaps who run it are wonderful. They have such a good story. It's very entertaining, whether you're going there for lunch or you're having dinner there or just a drink at the bar. It's great, people watching place to go, sitting out there on a summer's evening, having a Negroni or something. It's just wonderful. So yeah, that would be my other pick. But both of them are, they're hugely popular and rightfully so for what they do. So yeah, they would be my top hits. I did notice that Nostimo's had a facelift recently, so although I haven't been there yet, I'm excited to go and try it there too.
I love those places because they're kind of unapologetically doing what they do. They're not trying to kind of serve to everybody. They're just really focused on delivering quality. And yeah, I would totally agree with that. Like, you've got to find them a little bit,
Yes.
because they're not on the high street. But get out there and find them and patronize those places as much as you can, because they, again, it does make Bishop Stortford a fantastic place to live. I remember 30 years ago, those kind of places weren't in Bishop Stortford. We had a lot of pubs, not so many great places like that to go out and hopefully the population can support those places.
Yes. Yeah. Sorry. One more shout out. I forgot.
Oh, yes.
It would be Pasticceria de Leo, because they do amazing sweet pastries and savouries now because they've got the deli next door. Martina is wonderful, and another place that's sort of really about the provenance of the ingredients and making everything from scratch. So as a big foodie, my choices are all about food.
Great. We will link up to all these guys in the show notes. So if anybody hasn't yet explored them, they can go on the Kate Turner culinary tour of Bishop Stortford.
Perfect.
And drop your name everywhere they go as well, so you get some free pastries and lattes, etc.
Wonderful.
Coming your way. Last question: who's doing something special in town that more people need to know?
So I know that she's got quite a lot of followers now already, which is deservedly so, is Katie Wicks, although we don't know her as Katie Wicks publicly, because this is bs.cm23 if you want to look her up on Instagram or Facebook. And Katie is a local mum. She's also businesswoman, but I sort of met her as just a person in the local community who just knows everyone and everything that's going on. And she's a wonderful person to sort of stop on the street and have a chat with. And I'm glad now that she's doing something that's a bit more in the spotlight, because she's just full of tons of useful information and always spreading the good news and talking the good stories, which is exactly what we want to do, whereas we do it quarterly. Katie's out there every day sort of giving you nuggets of useful information, things to do in the holidays with your kids or places to go and visit. So yeah, I'm glad she's doing something more public now, so we can all get a little bit of that Katie on the street that we've got to talk to.
Yes, Katie has been a big supporter of the podcast. She has recommended people to come on and be guests. But Kate, I need your help. I can't get her.
She won't go on the podcast.
She won't come on the podcast.
She needs to go on the podcast.
She does, doesn't she? So
vote for Katie.
Vote for Katie. Claire Corsten shouted her out the other day.
Yeah.
To come on as being a guest. So she knows I'm closing in to get her on. But it hasn't happened yet. And she is a great supporter. The amount of businesses that she supports is fantastic. But she's always recommending people to me. She's just, supporting the work that I'm doing in trying to do what I do to shine a light on the town. So, I really do want to get her on the podcast at some point.
Yes.
My tactics haven't worked yet, so I am thinking about it.
Yeah, we'll all continue to badger her because she definitely needs to be here.
Yeah. Okay, we'll make that happen. Kate, again, where's the place for people to follow along online or reach out to talk to you about all things Bish?
So hello@thebishmag.co.uk. We are the Bish Mag on Instagram and Facebook, and thebishmag.co.uk for our website, which does have back issues on, by the way. So if you've missed any and you want to read any of them online, you can do that. Or you can always drop us a line if you prefer a printed copy with that lovely Bish smell that everyone always talks about. Feel free to get in touch. Yeah, we're considering candles and a whole line of merch.
I don't know if that's an April Fool's line or not, but we'll see what happens. Watch this space.
Yeah, watch this space.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Kate, thank you so much. That's a wrap. Thank you so much for joining us on the Bishop Stortford Community Podcast today.
Thank you for having me, James. It's been a pleasure.
Not a problem, Kate. And thank you for everything you're doing with shining a light on Bishop Stortford. It really is fantastic. Thanks, Kate.
Thank you.
If you enjoyed this episode, the best way to support our show, the podcast, is to hit follow, leave a quick review on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, wherever you're listening to this, and then share it on your socials, or maybe someone in town who's not on social media that might want to learn a little bit more about what the Bish is all about. And if you've got a local legend, someone like Kate or Katie, that's helping this community grow and to thrive, share their name in the comments below and I can reach out to them, invite them on the podcast. Again, Kate, thank you so much for joining us today on the Bishop Stortford Community Podcast.